The breakdown in the West African gas pipeline was a big dip in the country's quest in meeting its energy needs. Ghanaians waited earnestly with bated breath, not knowing when it will be finally fixed. There were several assurances from WAPCO and the government on expected timelines to get it back on stream to augment the country's energy needs. President Mahama, in a bid to hasten the rehabilitation process, paid a day's weekend visit to Nigeria to discuss with President Goodluck Jonathan progress on the West African gas pipeline. According to him, although the broken pipe which truncated supplies to Ghana months ago has been fixed, further works had to be carried out. In the first week of November this year, officials of the West African Gas Pipeline Company confirmed the pipeline is set to operate at full capacity to transport to Ghana all the contractual volumes of 120 million cubic feet of gas per day if it becomes available. Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Gas Company, Dr. George Sipayanke, intimated it's been fixed for some few weeks ago and gas has been flowing from Nigeria to the VRA plant in Abuadze as well as Sonon Asogli. Ghana had a major energy deficit from thermal energy as a result of no access to gas when the pipeline was destroyed off the coast of Togo. The Ghana Gas Company said it, however, stepped up effort to complete Ghana's own gas project at Atwabo by April next year in order to meet local gas needed for thermal energy.
Ghana Gas are working day and night to make sure that this project becomes a reality, because we believe that if you're able to finish this project, you'll be able to help resolve the current power challenges that you're going through. As a matter of fact, if you were to do about 100 million scraps of gas per day, you will enable VRA to generate additional 500 megawatts of power. And that would be a very important addition to the stock that you currently have.
The Abuadze thermal plant, after also suffering a minor breakdown after an explosion at the project site for a period of time, has finally been fixed and is back on stream. On Thursday, May 3rd, President Mahama, as part of measures to end the infamous load shedding, termed Dumso Dumso in the local parlance, which has caused lots of discomfort to Ghanaians and businesses, inaugurated the first power from the Bui generation station. The ceremony brought into operation the first of the 3 units to generate 133 megawatts of power onto the national grid.
Today, I'm happy to switch on the first power of the Bui hydroelectric dam, which will bring on stream an additional 133 megawatts to our national grid, while we continue to work towards bringing on stream the entire 400 megawatts by the close of this year. And let me explain that this is not the official commissioning of the Bui hydropower project. This event represents just the switch on of first power from this plant.
The sod for the commencement of the Bui Dam was cut by President Kufuor on the 24th of August 2007 at Bui Camp. Critics, therefore, did not take it kindly with the current administration for going ahead with the first phase commissioning without his participation. This generated wide range of public discourse over reasons for taking him out of the picture. The full complement of the 400 megawatts Bui Dam came on stream on December 19, 2013. This time around, the much-acclaimed project initiator graced the commissioning by President Mahama. Television cameras did not miss out on him to emphasize his presence at the commissioning site.
Today, as we commission the Bui generation station, the full capacity of 400 megawatts of power is being fed into the national power grid. This year, as you've been told, in addition to Bui's 400 megawatts, we've brought a total of 534 megawatts into the national power grid, putting our current installed generation capacity at 2,845 megawatts. This puts us on track to realize the vision I outlined of reaching 5,000 megawatts of generating capacity by the year 2016.
Among other efforts in securing the country's energy needs was the inauguration of a $2 million 2-megawatt solar power plant at Navrongo in the Upper East region on the 9th of May this year. The solar power will be expanded to 2.5 megawatts to become the largest in Africa, apart from Cape Verde. The government said it has also provided provisional licenses for 9 organizations to invest in energy generation. The Energy Commission also launched a short code for consumers to easily access electricity.
Now what we have is a system that will record both the offs and the ons, calculate the time, the duration, and give us reports on the frequency of outages so that we have an idea of how the lights are going off in different areas in Accra.
The toll-free short code, which for now will work only in the eastern part of Accra on a pilot basis, was launched at Teshi, an area the Commission says is bedeviled with challenges in the area of power supply.
BRA now buys a cargo of crude every 14 days. And a cargo of crude is made up of 450,000 barrels. And every 14 days, we need 450,000 barrels. And that, right now, it's almost $50 million every 14 days.
Depreciation and other items also form about 28%. Tax expense, 6%. Then a return on asset base is about 7%. Now we have an asset base of about 4 billion Ghana cedis. Now what it means is that year on year we need to make some meaningful return in order to even replace these assets.
Our challenge is that we have a lot of debts in our books. And in business ethics, you don't divulge so much information about your customers, but both private and government debts are in our books.
Implications for further reductions in the tariff, that is load shedding and deficit which might be covered to avoid the utility service provider from collapsing. A scenario where there will be a complete shutdown of 2 thermal plants, Senate and Gensa Power, who are IPPs, one of which belongs to the workers of Ghana. And this will considerably bring the price down. But the implication of this action is that there's going to be load shedding because these 2 IPPs contribute a total of 128 megawatts in the generation mix.
I deliberately have set out here by saying that the alternative to electricity is too horrible to contemplate. And I don't want anybody to go around saying that, we are paying too much for power. My argument is that we should pay the right price for power. There are policy issues involved, and we need to address all those policy issues. But at the heart of it all is a quality issue.
Cost of living keeps rising by the day. Salaries of workers don't correspond that cost of living.
If you want to support any tariff increment, there should have been a corresponding increase in efficiency from the 2010 tariffs. But as of today, not much has been done.
After a long, winding debate back and forth over the proposed tariff adjustment, a 78.9% for electricity and 52% for water increment was announced on the 26th of October by the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission. The announcement was received with a lot of agitations from all angles.
In the midst of this misunderstanding on the increase, we think that it will be appropriate for us to stay out of the PRC meetings until we resolve this matter. So it is a kind of an expression of dissatisfaction that has led us to say we are withdrawing our person.
Civil society group Truth and Accountability Forum, TAF for short, dragged the PURC to court seeking to restrain the commission from approving the tariff hike. The opposition was that the PURC has no right to adjust utility tariffs upwards. Unfortunately for them, they lost the case.
The case has been dismissed, no doubt about that. But we respect the decision of the court. That is the reason why we brought the case here. But we disagree vehemently with the decision of the court.
A couple of weeks after the tariffs were adjusted upwards, government announced a 25% subsidy to absorb a portion of the cost burden on consumers. This implies that the starting point towards the full cost recovery has been reduced from 78.9% to 59.18% with effect from 1st October 2013. According to government, since the PURC had already gazetted the 78.9% increase in the electricity tariff, it will absorb the difference between the gazetted increase of 78.9% and the 59.18%, including all levies and charges as agreed with the social partners.